AFG 1997 here, coming back with you another video right there, and here we are. It's the big fall classic. This is my 22nd World Series since 2004 with the Carter Red Sox, with Boston won their first championship in 86 years, and the next year the White Sox won their first in 88 years against my Astros 20 years ago. Yeah, don't remind me that. When times different changes, but I gotta rest with that. Now, we're here. We're finally getting ready for this. It's the big, the get-go, and it's the big World Series. The Fall Classic is tomorrow. Game 1, the best of 7, the 2-3-2 format between the NL defending champion and the World Series champ, the Los Angeles Dodgers. Dodgers led their team all the way. Being the Phillies in the, well, first the Reds in the wild card, a sweep, and then they beat the Philadelphia Phillies 3-1, and then the sweep by the Milwaukee Brewers, which I love it. That was the karma for after taunting that flag with the L's against my Cubs. Brotherhood, live lively brotherhood. Hey, search on you, right, Milwaukee? Karma is a you-know-who. Karma is a you-know-who. And now they are in the World Series. Now the Blue Jays. Well, they had a good, impressive being the Yankees 3-1. And then Monday night, Sunday to Monday night, Game 6 and 7 after down 3-2 last Friday against the Mariners. Cal Raleigh hit a tying home run, and then the next day, Eugenio Suarez, a grand salami sandwich. Toronto won in Game 7. George Springer Dinger, he's done it again. He's done it again. Oh my God, 3-run homer, go ahead. Down by 2 runs, and they win it 4-3. Oh my God, that was pretty awesome. As an Astros fan, also karma to the Mariners for sweeping my Astros last month at home. Yeah. Also karma, right? Now, take me back 9 years ago when Dodgers and the Blue Jays, when they all have the League Championship Series, got eliminated, and who was in the World Series that year? Cleveland Indians and the Chicago Cubs. But until the Guardians name in 2022, because that name doesn't exist till 6 years later, still was the Indians back then. They removed that Chief Wahoo logo, just the C logo, and that was that. And the Cubs won that series. Yeah, 4-3. Earn my respect. Go Cubs. So, the key matchup on tomorrow night, Blake Snell is 3-0 this postseason. He's got good, impressive numbers. .86 ERA, 28 strikeouts, and then Trey Savage is starting tomorrow on 2 wins and 1 losses in the postseason. 4.20 ERA, 22 Ks, and here is the lineup for Toronto Blue Jays. Sorry, and the Dodgers batters. They will announce this tomorrow for their lineup card. So there's that. And now breaking down for all these. We're not gonna do betting spreads because of what's going on with the NBA, and yeah, we're not gonna try to do that, guys. I'm just gonna keep it go forward with Major League Baseball, but we're gonna break it all down. And I will read it right there, and how about right there? So there's that. Let's get down to it. I'm gonna read the articles for you. Fascinating contrast characterized this fall classic that begins Friday night at Rogers Center for the first time in 32 years since 1993. And by the way, I wasn't even born until 4 years later in 97. Alright? Let's just put it that way. The Dodgers. The World Series scenes that faint comply at the start of the season. They won it last year. As you might remember, they then only got stronger in the offseason. Now look, they're looking for their franchise 9 overall that will tie with the Boston Red Sox and the Athletics. Has 9 championships because the Giants have 8 with the Dodgers. Last time I checked, yeah, same sharing numbers because Cardinals got 11. And then the World Series is tomorrow night, presented by Capital One on Fox to put this, and Sportsnet over there in Canada. First timer. It's a different story for the Blue Jays. Also is on ESPN Radio as well tomorrow. If you want to turn into that for the Blue Jays. Their franchise has gone back to back, but that was the way back in 1992-1993, before most members of their active rosters were born. That was Paul Molitor's championship, waiting for all this with the Blue Jays went back to back that time. So also the big story. And coming off 2024's last place finish in the AL East amid in the era unmet expectations. They weren't rightly counted as the World Series contenders, yet here they are, looking to dethrone the defending champ with much more experience on this stage. Well, we'll have to see how that's going to work, because that was pretty back and forth drama in the LCS. The postseason was phenomenal, and we'll look at the brackets, how they got there. So, continue. The contrasts extend the manner in which these two clubs claimed their place in the postseason's pinnacle. The Dodgers swept the Brewers in a nice and tidy fashion and will had a week off by the time Game 1 arrives, while the Blue Jays win on the distance against the Mariners in the 7-game thriller in the ALCS. Yeah, that was pretty impressive. Yeah, that was pretty intense because you just saw what happened. Right? It was pretty cool. It was pretty amazing. Because they took Brian Wu off the mound. And that pretty much put themselves into kryptonite. So, thing is, how wealthy is going to be going down to the World Series? Because look at the bullpens of Dodgers. Shohei Ohtani's got very, very impressive. You saw on the NLCS game Game 4. 3 home runs. Remind me of 1977. Reggie Jackson did it one time. Mr. October against the Cincinnati Reds in 1977, I believe. 3 straight home runs. Let me tell you this on my phone, because if I'm not wrong. For this 1977 World Series. I'm sorry, the Dodgers. The LA Dodgers. 1977. And that just tells you the story right there. And there's that. Now, why am I going to be seeing this? It's going to be very chaotic. And I'm going to get to ESPN.com. And I just lost some connections. But I got to aggressive with that. So, the story, and now I'm looking at the postseason, is MLB postseason brackets. Let me show you this. Tell you this right now, how they got there. Well, it all started. The Tigers beat the Cleveland Guardians 2-1 on a fashion thriller. After Game 2, Cleveland won. Boston beat the Yankees 2-1. Yes, because the Yankees were the first postseason wildcard team to lose a home game in Game 1, and then the next 2 they win 2 and 3 to cap it off the wild card. Interesting, huh? So, very interesting. And also, the National League, We told you that the Dodgers are Reds. Cubs beat the Padres in that series. In that series. So there's that. Okay, ESPN's now backing on. And while I'm giving a little talk of this. And then Dodgers and Phillies. We told you that the Cubs beat the Brewers beat the Cubs. And plus the Mariners and Tigers series was wild, and it came down to the final down slick. It just like spreading like wildfires in Game 5, back and forth in 15 innings, and Jorge Polanco just won that game. Oh my goodness! Wow! It just baffles me. So here's the matchup predictor: 58.2 the Dodgers, 41.8 on the Blue Jays. And look at their whips right there for the numbers on the inning pitches, hits. Savage has 10. Snell has 6. Walks Savage over Snell, and then home runs allowed by Injury reports for the start tomorrow's Game 1. Yeah, they're all going to be playing on game time decision. Kyle Hurt, Kirby Yates, Michael Kopech, Tanner Scott. They're all going to be back as soon as they start tomorrow because Nick Frasso is out for the season. Until all players, Bo Bichette, Ty France, Nick Sadlin, and then Bolden Francis, and Angel Bastrado, they're all going to be back on game time decision tomorrow under injury reports. Now look at the team stats. Average. Blue Jays got more than the Dodgers. Dodgers have more runs than the Blue Jays. The Blue Jays have more hits than the Dodgers. The Dodgers have more home runs than the Blue Jays. And look at the strikes. Dodgers have more than the Blue Jays. And their last 5, you can see the numbers. Blue Jays won 4 out of 5. Dodgers won the last 5, except that walk-off ending 2-1 against the Phillies in the 11th. You saw that wild pitch error. Wow, unbelievable. They start all the way through Game 7, and yes, this is going to be a 2-3-2 format ever since 2022 TV media rights deal on that contract. So there you have it, guys. Let me know what your thoughts below in the comments section, and you can subscribe to the channel. I mean, the World Series, it's come down to this, and I'm going to put it right there, or not. It has come down to this, and yeah, what a way to get to that. And this is going to be crazy, and you can put it right there on camera. Okay, that's just right there. So tell me, guys, what you think. Peace. I'm out until next time. And my prediction in the World Series, I gotta go with Blue Jays at 6, because the Blue Jays haven't played Game 7 ever since 1977 began that franchise. But the Dodgers have played Game 7 one time, was the 2017 World Series against my Astros. Let's see if George Springer can do it again, because George Springer owns the Astros. So look at before we go, batting leaders on Springer: Ohtani, Freeman, Bichette. Bo Bichette's got to be playing. All right. There's Yamamoto and Gossman and Bassett. You might want to pause it. So, peace. I'm out. Until next time.